Hello everybody, this is Mr. Finn's Fish, and we are checking out a Siamese Algae Eater. We have a bunch of blackbeard algae, string algae in this tank, and I know it will rectify itself, but we're trying some of these Siamese Algae Eaters. We have two of them in here, and I just wanted to show you them eating. They're a little flighty, we just put them in. But they are running around and they're eating this filament algae, which is kind of growing all over the rocks. Up on here, it's waving around in there. And I know there's tons of bubbles in here. We got way too much aeration going on. But I've spooked them. Oh, one's come out. But I was just watching them. I'm trying to get it on video, them actually eating it. They seem to be doing an awesome job. They're pulling it off the front glass here. If I can find some. I know there's all kinds of algae in here. So this tank, just a little background, is growing up a whole bunch of stuff. It's growing up baby plecos. Right there's one of them. It's growing up some snails in here. I'm actually throwing some more in. And I've got some red cherry shrimp from my other colony that I'm throwing in here to start another colony. And these will be my high grades. So I'm only picking out the really best looking males and really best looking females, and we'll throw them in here and get them going in this 55. It's seasoned and has a lot of places for them to eat food. That's why I'm not scraping off the algae and stuff from the screen, or from the front of the tank, just to get video. These guys are just hiding from me. I'll have to cut it in and get some footage of them doing their thing. But they're doing an awesome job at it. And these are the same ones that I've seen eat cherry shrimp babies, but I don't know. I'm hoping that's just an anomaly and we can get them going again at it and see if they work together. Right now, I only have a couple cherry shrimp in here. There's a big old male, and then there's a big old buried up female back in the Java moss there. But that's really what I want the algae eaters to do, and that's what they're doing a great job at, is cleaning this Java moss off. You can see a bunch of a green now. Just a couple days ago, that was basically a big ball of black filament algae. So they're grabbing a hold of it and ripping it off and doing great work at it. Other than that, here's some of the mystery snails. Got them in here. They've been acclimating in here. Just temperature. I pulled them out of the breeding tank upstairs, and I'm going to throw them in here and hopefully they'll help clear up some of the algae stuff. Eat up extra food, because I'm feeding a lot in here, as you can see, to keep these plecos growing healthy and quick. And that's what we're after, is to get them grown up so that when everybody starts buying stuff again in the fall, we have some good sized ones. I don't know if this particular batch will make it, but we've got 2 or 3 other tanks growing up and doing their thing. We started the outdoor tank really late, the tub's on the porch, but I've got guppies out there, and I've got plecos out there, and I've got snails out there, and we'll see what happens. They're supposed to grow up real quick and be really strong out there, and color up nicely. But I will cut some footage into these guys, because that's really they're the star of the show here, and see if we can't get them on camera eating algae. Alright everybody, well, I tend to have these guys really spooked. Let's take a few minutes here to really talk about these fish. These are the Siamese Algae Eaters. They're super common in pet stores for the most part. They typically range about, I don't know, $5 to $8, maybe a little less, maybe a little bit more, depends on where you're at. Right now, they're pretty hard to get. These ones I was able to find at my local pet store. They were a little bit on the high side. I want to say they were like $7 or $8. Any rate, they're super common because of what they do. They eat black hair algae and help clean up. They're just a general overall scavenger, but they will eat the hair algae, and that's what that's a big deal for them, for everybody, including me, because I have this tank right here that I'm promoting growth in, keeping the light on long, all the stuff you're not supposed to do if you want to keep algae down. But I'm growing a little fish, so that's my goal here. So I thought I'd introduce these guys and talk about them a little bit. The Siamese Algae Eater, don't confuse them with other algaes, what the Chinese Algae Eater or the Flying Fox. Those are both different fish. These fish they tend to stay a little bit smaller. They will get right about 6 inches long, I believe, and that means you do have to be able to find them a home that's 20-30 gallons at least, I would say, and then probably a 55 long term if you got a couple of them. So they do like to be in groups. Ideally this fish would like to be in a group of 4 to 6 probably, but they will, there's finally eaten, but they will do individuals you can, and I've got them in a pair here. They seem to stick right together and they do pretty well in a pair. Some of the other things, so generally super easy fish to keep, 75 to 80 degree water temperature, 6 to 7.5 pH kind of range, up to 20 hardness. I'm gonna say 5 to 20 is what they were. Oh, I finally got them eating. So there we go. So I'll stop all that and just check them out. So they're actually eating, they're nibbling on that hair algae there. I apologize, this is a new phone. There we go. And that's what we're after. See them just ripping it right off and eating the whole filament. They have been in here for a few days, and they really like to work on the stuff that's on this Java moss. And you can see a lot of green on the Java moss right now. They're in there peeling off all the black hair algae in it. So it'll be an experiment for me. I've kept these guys in here a little while just to see how quickly they get control over this. If they do, this tank will eventually settle out anyway, but I like the idea of using these guys in conjunction and using them to eat up the hair algae. I got a few tanks to move them through. Well, hey everybody, this is a few days later. I just wanted to come back and shoot a little bit of footage so we can compare. I don't know that the Java moss is any cleaner. It might be much bigger, like it might be growing really fast. The leaf has definitely got a lot less hair algae growing on it. I don't know if that had any on it or not. There's the filter. Yes, my tanks are still not scraped or anything. I'm always in and out of these making a mess of them. Looks like that rock is quite a lot less hair algae. Same with this one. And I noticed up on the big mass up here that when I turn the air back on, it gets to waving. I can't get a good shot of it. Come on. It's turning brown a little bit. And I don't know if that's nutrients or if it's just actually, I've shortened up the lights as well in here. So the time that the lights are running, I don't know if that affects this or not. But seems to be a lot less. They seem to be eating quite a bit of it. I watch them eat it all the time, so I know they're eating it. But I don't know if it's growing faster than they're consuming it. But it looks like some of it's starting to die off. That's browning up there, so may have gotten ahead of it. Let's see, this angle looks like that's greening up a lot in there, so I think it is. They've got a little bit more work to do. Alright everybody, it's a few days, probably a week later or so, since I shot the video about the hair algae and how much these little fellas have eaten, and man, have they gotten big. I'm sure it'll show up on screen, but Wow, they're big. And as I look around, they have devoured just about every shred. There's none up there anymore of hair algae in this entire thing. It's impressive. All the black hair algae is for the most part gone. It's all gone off the front glass. They've picked the filters clean. They've cleaned off all the Java moss. They're doing awesome. So I'm gonna move them through to another tank and let them clean that one up. You can see him right now. He's going to town on that, what's left on that brick there. They're doing great work, guys. Thanks everybody, have a great day.